And I'm live. Turn this thing up. All right, how is everybody doing? I don't know if you're in America. It's a holiday weekend coming up. Um, yeah, the fruit thing has been absolutely amazing. People have been asking me what I did to my skin. I didn't do anything whatsoever. Really didn't do anything to my hair either. But yeah, fruit has been absolutely amazing. I don't know if you saw my date video on Instagram. I'll probably put it on here tomorrow. The dates have been pretty good. Bananas. I did underestimate the amount of bananas I was going to be going through. So I'm going to probably have to get some today. Uh, uh, and that's about it. I don't really have a ton on the agenda, so I'm hoping people are going to be coming in here and asking questions. Who are you talking? What you're answering when you start these lives? Who are you talking? What are you answering? I really wasn't answering any questions. Although I did see a couple of things that I kind of wanted to talk about in here. People keep mentioning Brad Marshall. I did write it down. I'll check him out. I don't really know who he is. People mentioned a couple other people. I haven't really looked into them. Who am I talking to? Just whoever is watching. And that's about it. One of the questions on body odor. There you do actually notice that body odor completely goes away when you're raw vegan for a long enough time. So that is actually a thing. Person who said this has never done it, so they have no idea what they're talking about. A couple other things. People keep mentioning calories. I don't know how many videos I got to make, how many things I got to talk about with calories. This whole thing about calories, it's just such a dead model. It really was just built to, sell diet programs to people. I mean, if it worked, would dieters ever, not just be counting calories and would be happy? It just doesn't work. And you keep digging in the trench and your body keeps being in the starvation mode, and then all of a sudden you binge and you wonder why. It's just a hot mess. So those of you who are in the comment section talking about calories, it's stop. You got to stop with that. Now, if you're going to try to live off a liter of oil a day, I mean that's a different thing. But if you're talking about high carb, low fat, it just isn't a thing. Now, the one what I have found just recently, going to like 90% fruit it's crazy how fast they move through, and the weight just is finally coming off. Is Dorian Ryder's advice legit? All right, so here, look, Dorian Ryder's advice is legit if you're somebody who is already cleaned out. If you really look at Dorian Ryder's journey or whatever, or Freely's journey, um, they started off as fruitarians, and their system was completely cleaned out by the fruit. Fruit is a cleanser. It's like the soap for the body, and they were completely cleaned out. And then they added in the starches, and that's what makes a huge difference. Now they started adding in the sugar. I don't know if Freely did, but Darian Ryder or Harley did. But I think that was more because of the cycling. I really don't know. What is body odor? Just when your body doesn't smell very good. Like, people put deodorant on under their arms, or um, just different areas of the body just kind of have odor to them. You're not supposed to at all. A matter of fact, women in Asia, it's not uncommon for them to not even really bleed during their period because their diet is so much cleaner than Western. Now, when they eat a Western diet is when they get periods, or start bleeding on their period. So there's, it just, our body is not, I mean, it really would be a disadvantage if you had odor to you and you were in like a jungle with cats or something like that. If you're, if we're in our original um tropics or whatever, and there's cats or there's other animals around that have way better noses than we do. If you have an odor, they can smell you, and if you're on their menu, they're going to find you. So you really should not have a body odor. Matter of fact, if you look at like ancient, or not terribly ancient, but older Japanese text, The ninjas used to actually go completely raw or fruitarian before a mission because they knew that the body odor that they weren't detectable. And that's why they did it. They would completely go to just eating fruit or just fruit and veg, and that was it, nothing cooked, because they knew that they wouldn't have any body odor. And the reason for that is your lymphatic system is draining, and your liver is able to be completely clean. So and your colon and your small intestine and everything is in good working order. So that's something to take into consideration. So if you're eating a bunch of like the starch solution or something like that, and you've got like really terrible body odor still, chances are you're just not eliminating enough, and you really got to look into that. That's why I just don't understand why McDougall will not talk about fruit. Even I forget where the book is, but even Barnard says the more fruit and veg in your diet, the better off you're going to be. But he also is a huge proponent of pasta. So I find that one odd. But pasta, it seems that comes from Italy, doesn't really have as much of a ill effect as stuff that comes from, say, America because of the glyphosate. Anyway, I'm not going to stay on here all day. It's a gorgeous day out there. So if there is questions, put them through. If not, you know, I know it's a nice weekend now. People probably rather go do stuff than listen to me blabber on about Dorian Ryder. But yeah, I think his advice is legitimate. I just think that you really have to look at yourself, and how you're doing with it. I think a lot of the weight gain that some of these people had might be that they were coming from anorexia, and that's a completely different thing. But if you're not coming from anorexia, if you have years of buildup in your intestines, if you have years of buildup in your liver and lymphatic system, adding what Durian Rider protocols into that, the way they are now, I don't think is a great idea. The way they were back in the day, when I met him, I think it was a lot better. What's your current diet look like? Um, Bananas, dates, watermelon, and potatoes. I probably actually am gonna have pasta myself tonight because after this, I think I'm gonna go DoorDash, and I have a feeling it could be busy tonight. But Sunday and Monday probably won't be busy, so I don't know if I'm gonna bother on those days. So that is the plan. So it's mostly the only starch that I've really been eating is potatoes. I did have rice the other day, and it didn't digest terribly well. So that is where things are at right now. Can't really think of what else to say. Do you ever tape your DoorDashes? No, I haven't done that. I can't really do that on this channel, and starting another channel just sounds like, I mean, I can't even find time to make videos for my the video game channel that I started. Um, I don't. I really don't. I know people who do that actually have pretty successful channels. It just, I can see the writing on the wall with DoorDash is as far as it being not really relevant in a couple years. Um, so I wouldn't want to put too much stock into that game. I'd rather get this channel or the other channel. I don't know why the hell the algorithm hates me so much, but I'd rather get this whole thing running where I want it, and then focus on other things. But no, no, I don't. I would even, I just don't even want to deal with it. Matter of fact, I got a GoPro sitting on my floor here that I don't even because got it to do video on bike rides, and I just really haven't been riding lately. It's been extremely windy, which is kind of annoying. It's like a swirling wind, so you just never know where the actual headwind is coming from. And just the drivers have gotten so much stranger. So one of these days I'll do it again. But yeah. Hey there, I hope you have a great weekend and thank you for this. But can you tell me what the difference is in Dorian Ryder's older program and his new one? Sorry, I am voice texting. The biggest difference was he was fully raw back in the day. I mean, he was fully raw. He was like, he was almost a little too hardcore into it. I remember the day I met him, he had eaten 72 bananas and like 50 dates it was a ridiculous amount of food that day. And that's kind of between him and Arnold is why I eventually switched over to being fully raw and losing all that weight because I was trying vegan in the beginning and um but I was trying one meal a day. I was trying to figure out how to do it and everything like that. And that's when I came across Arnold one day when I came off a train. And then I think I found Arnold in late 2010 or something like that. And then sometime in 2011, I went to Arnold's and Dorian Ryder and Freely were there. And I was talking, well, to Dorian Ryder. Freely was very standoffish. If there wasn't a camera, if there wasn't a way for her to sell something, um, so that's kind of where it started for me. But yeah, he was, I mean, because I mean, he doesn't take any of his videos down, so you can legit go find his videos from like 12 years ago. What is the purpose of life? Well, I would suppose that would be different for everybody. I don't know how you would answer that for just in general. Is Arnold his first or last name? His name's Arnold Kaufman. He owns Arnold's Way in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. It's surprising how many of the raw people I've interviewed on this channel know who Arnold is. They've all seemed to have visited him. One of these days, maybe this summer, I'll get to Pennsylvania again, Philly, and go do a video at his place. I don't even know if he remembers me because this was a long time ago, and he sees a lot of people. Really important and high quality broadcast. Thank you. Yeah. That is the goal. I had that goal last year and it just didn't happen to get out and talk to him again. Do you like Raw Christina? I'm not sure of her name. Fully Raw Christina. Not really. She's another one that I met years ago. Another one of these fake give me your money. Her dad's actually the one that funded her whole operation, not like doctor operation, but like he actually hired a media company and everything to get her channel out there. She's just another one of these fake people. Dad's got a lot of money, and I don't know. I didn't really trust her. Um, when I met her, she was like ridiculously skinny to the point of like I know a lot of them were like really defending how skinny they were back in the day, but she was like dangerously skinny looking. And I know she's filled in quite nicely actually at this point. I don't know if she is fully raw still. I think she is, but she must have added something in because she was like rail thin back in the day when I met her, and it was brief. What happened was a lot of the people that went to the raw fruit fruit stock or whatever they were calling it up in Woodstock. Woodstock wasn't really that far from where Arnold's was, so they just came down south, um, to Philly from New York, and a lot of people were there. So I met a lot of the people. I never been to that fruit festival. I'd like to go. It seems a little expensive for what it is, so I haven't really gone. Maybe the publicity wise, it might be a good idea. I don't know. Back in the day, I didn't have a channel, even though everybody was telling me to start a channel documenting. Because at the time when I was meeting a lot of these people, I was in my high 300s weight wise, and they were telling me to start a video and document it. But I mean, it's so hard to see yourself on video when you're like that weight. So I just never did it. But anyway, a lot of these people I met, and actually another reason I didn't start a channel is I really didn't want any connection with any of them because I really didn't care for their character. So that is my answer to that one. Arnold, I think of all doctors of all, like plant-based doctors of all people on, YouTube or whatever that talk about plant-based life, I would venture to guess that Arnold's helped more people than any of them. He's got an entire wall of success stories, and like we're talking like everybody's cured, not like subsided. One of the people I keep meaning to re-inter not in well, actually, I wouldn't mind interviewing her, actually. I might reach out to her, but he's got a woman that he helped get rid of, MS completely, I think, unless it's a completely in remission, but she used to not even be able to walk, and now she can walk, she can run, and everything. She's a little rowdy, though, so it might be a little hard to interview her. So, that is that is it on that one. Do you think it's okay to slightly steam some vegetables? I hate raw broccoli. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it's all about how your body's ability to eliminate. If your body can eliminate it, fine. If you get constipated, then really look at why. Look at what it is. I have to go back to some of my ways of living prior because the Durian rider thing, while I think is effective. It just isn't effective for those of us who just are not, getting rid of it. Sadly, I keep overcooking it. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, overcooking broccoli is hardly a crime. Although I did read that, spinach when you cook spinach, it actually does become somewhat toxic. So that might be one not to do a lot of cooking with. But spinach is one of those I do not digest if I don't have fat with it. I cannot digest it. And I've talked to a lot of other people who are the exact same way with spinach. I have to have it with fat, otherwise it just does not digest. I don't know why. Maybe it's a high fat percent. So that's that for that. Anyway, that's the journey right now. Not terribly exciting. Not terribly exciting, but it is what it is for right now. All right, any more questions? Any idea how much fat you are taking in? Not really. There's not a whole lot in bananas, dates, watermelon, is really the bulk of what I'm eating right now. I had potatoes last night with cabbage and onion, and lentils and tomatoes. Um, there's not a ton of fat in that either. I really don't track it because it really isn't that high. If I was adding avocado or something like that, maybe I would track it, but I don't even own any avocados. I rarely ever buy them. I'm not really into oil. I never have been. Uh, so no, I have no idea. It's got to be less than 10%. It's probably between 5 and 10% of whatever I'm eating. You'd have to just kind of chronometer. I think yesterday I had maybe 10 pounds of watermelon, 35 bananas, maybe 12 dates, and I had a 3-pound bag of potatoes and the cabbage. So that's what I ate yesterday. But the weight is falling off like crazy lately. I don't know how much I weigh before people ask. I have no idea. I just go by clothes and how they fit because I'm not really much into buying a bunch of clothes. So I definitely know how they fit the other day. Awesome. Yeah, I don't really have any issue with people, or myself steaming potatoes or cooking potatoes. When I made them yesterday, I air fried them, so, I'm not really Not really that anal with it. Right on. Yeah, sounds very low. I'm trying to cut it down from about 40 grams per day. I still put peanut butter on my toast in the morning and oil on my potatoes. I'm actually, I know I'm a rare bird, but I really don't like peanut butter much at all. I had a jar of peanut butter in the cabinet for like 3 years. I forgot that was even there and I just threw it out. Oil on potatoes. Oil on potatoes is pretty good, but I try to stay away. Make uh, I just can't do it. Because once I go down that path, and I just too much. Make vegan plant-based chocolate cream in my Ninja Creamy. I don't know much about ninjas, so I don't know what that is. Um, I don't. It's awesome. Too bad it doesn't have a good camera and his YouTube. He just doesn't have good hearing. He doesn't know uh, how to take pictures. He has important insights and successes that are not well documented. Who are we talking about? I don't know who you're talking about. You make ice cream or sherbet with it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I haven't seen them. I have a Vitamix. I have a Omega 8004 juicer with a blank plate. I have a Cuisinart, the bigger one, and that's actually about it. I do have a food dehydrator that's right over there in its own box. I think that's it. I really don't have a ton of appliances, largely because I don't have a very big kitchen. So, I have to. Oh, and I have the Instant Pot as well, and that's about it. That's about it. So, I mean, I actually think that if you have a Cuisinart food processor, I think that's one of the better things to make the ice cream with. The Vitamix is obviously really good too, but it's a pain in the ass to get it out of there. Do you only buy organic fruit? No, actually, I don't think any of the bananas I have right now are organic. The dates I just got yesterday, I don't know if those are organic or not. I don't know why you would spray dates. I would think that because when they're not ripe, they are really hard, and I don't know that much fruit flies or anything go after them. I have all those except for Blend Tech, and it doesn't come out the same. Well, Blend Tech isn't made in Cleveland, so I don't support it. I just, I don't think, and I like things to be approachable too. If people think that coming into this, they got to buy 45 different, appliances or whatever, it's just daunting. So I think the only thing that you need is like a Vitamix or a vacuum blender, and you can be good with that. Yeah, back to the organic fruit thing. I would think that, as stuff like apples and pears is probably really good to buy organic. If you look at grapes, grapes are so heavily sprayed that I have a hard time buying them, conventional because there's just so much on there. Why don't you eat meat? Because you don't need to eat meat. I mean, it almost killed me, so I don't know why I would go back to eating meat. The fallacy behind the fact that humans think that they need to eat meat is so ridiculous. Who is the dude with the white mustache? White mustache that says diabetes. That's Wilford Brimley. He was an actor. He did a lot of acting back in the day. Then he got paid to do the Quaker Oats oatmeal commercials, and then after that, he got paid to do the diabetes. Um, I went over to my buddy's house the other day, and he had a diabetes shirt on from that from that guy, and somebody got mad at him. And everybody gets offended by everything these days. But that's who he is. Is an actor from back in the day. I mean, he's dead now, but that's who he is. I forget what movies it was. I'm not really a movie fan, so I don't know. I think he might have been in some sitcoms too. like on just regular TV? Don't know. I just remember the oatmeal commercials and the diabetes commercials. Yeah. I think everybody should get one of them shirts. Keep that guy's memory alive. I suppose if you are a Gen Z or maybe even millennial, you wouldn't even really know who he was. That's crazy to me. Um, but yeah, so he is. All right, anything else? A lot of noise. Nothing. I might get heading out of here pretty soon. It's just such a nice day. I don't think I might actually, I know I've said this a few times. I might make Tuesday the only one that I do a week because 2 a week is getting a little bit much. All right, anything else? No. All right, I think I'm gonna get heading out of here. I'll do one Tuesday. Maybe I won't actually. I don't know. We'll see if I do one Tuesday. It's the day after holiday. And then probably just gonna go down to one of these a week, and we'll go from there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one.